it's a frustrating time because you try to have a rational, informed conversation with someone about what is objectively true, and then people argue vociferously against it.
Right.
And it's revealing itself on many levels. I mean, there's the comical level where you have this movement of people who are sure the earth is flat.
Right.
And so we laugh at that, and you might even sort of discount it, but that is a symptom, I think, of some other deeper state of mind where maybe it's not a state of mind, perhaps it's just a state of not knowing what science is and how and why it works.
Yeah.
That science is a way of querying nature. Science is a way of asking questions about what you do not know. And if you don't think of it that way, you'll just leave the science class behind, you'll sell your textbook,
right,
and you move on, and then you might feel the freedom to discount it as you would discount anything else you might have learned, not realizing that you don't actually have that option.
Right.
You might feel the freedom to discount it as you would discount anything else you might have learned, not realizing that you don't actually have that option. That you don't actually have that option.
Well, it's complicated. Fully understanding the thermodynamic Rube Goldberg machine that is the climate is more appropriate for the scope of a full university-level course. Natural forces influence climate change. This has been true throughout Earth's history, and it's still true today. Climate scientists know this. In fact, it is by studying these natural climate-changing forces that we understand much of what we do know about human-caused climate change. So not only are climate scientists aware of these natural cycles, they discovered most of them. See, for the past half century or so, we've been able to measure the sun's intensity really accurately with all our space machines. Before that, thanks to astronomers looking at the sun and counting sunspots, we know now that the sun's intensity goes up and down by about 0.1% every 11 years. So, hey, the sun gets brighter sometimes. That could throw things off. Unfortunately, when you average out the brightness of the sun over the past 4 decades, it's been remarkably steady, even maybe showing a slight dimming trend. All while Earth's average temperature, as you're probably tired of hearing by now, has gone the other way, up.
So what we found is that parts of the Antarctic ice sheet are flowing too quickly into the oceans because the ocean around them is too warm. And that's causing them to be unstable. At times that causes ice shelves to collapse and break away from the continent and drift out into the Southern Ocean. And at other times it causes glaciers to speed up and to move more ice out into the oceans than can be replenished by the snow that falls inland. And that causes a difference in the amount of ice stored in the continent. And that really is simply just a difference in sea level rise because that ice ends up in the oceans.
In fact, the CO2 emitted by all the volcanoes worldwide combined is under 1% of the emissions from humans.
The volcanoes have been around for longer than we have been, and climate change didn't start until the Industrial Revolution. So I don't think we can blame the volcanoes about this climate change.
The UN says that right now, our world is about 1 degree hotter than pre-industrial times. That's around the year 1800, which is okay. In fact, the UN says if we warm by 1.5 degrees before the end of the century, we should be fine. The UN even says 2 degrees would probably be all right. But again, the problem is speed. Because right now, we're on track to hit 1.5 degrees in only 10 years.